Welcome to week 11 of the 1-year ceramic coatings with a Koch chemie GSX, as in Christmas soap and Rinseless. I'm showing once again how much I'm using, as it happens to be half an ounce to a gallon, and I have 12 litres or just about 3 gallons. I have 35 millilitres in and an ounce in the foamer. Move along to the test. I know that GSX has been getting a lot of stick for not being the best. People using high output pressure washers, which once again, I don't specifically want something that goes over 2 gallons. I have the Ryobi Automotive for that reason, because then soaps are not performing because you're putting too much water in. Is it the best soap? No. Is it the worst soap? No. In a sprayer, it sprays on. It does part over time, as you can see, especially on the black rhino side. If I was in sunlight, that would probably be more of an issue than less of an issue. So once it's been on for just a couple of minutes, I'm then spraying off with Koch chemie Rinseless 250:1. This week it seems to be fine, as the Rinseless itself is not surfactant, fully surfactant based and foamy. And I think from as the previous, that when it is foamy and you use it, it's much harder to take it off the car and make it work. Whereas with this Koch chemie, it's very easy. It's coming off very easy. So yes, the Christmas foam actually goes on easily, comes off easily. Does it part a bit? Yes, it does. So not the best in that respect. I much preferred how foam actually sat on the vehicle. Gonna use the old wash noodle this week. Taking it out, you can see once again wets the surface well, and then just wiping over just to make sure it's clean. Always do the touch wash. Flip over for the other side and then clean the bottom. Just give it a quick wring out and then just go over the top, because I'm cheating again and doing the whole car. Just easier for me, of course. So I'm just going to do the dry up. So I've got my pre-drying cloth as normal. Weapon of mass drying off. The secondary, obviously, making sure that once I've got hit most of it off, it's much easier to do. I'm going to dry it up, and then once I've finished doing my drying bits, I'm then going to use the Rinseless sprayer just to spray on. So bringing it up to position, I want to make sure that as I come into it, can see, and it's the DIY detail side, and you can see that it's rejecting the liquid quite well, coming down, and on the back, as per before, it's rejecting it but just holds a little more liquid on. But I think the product just sheets a little bit more. In all, both products seem to be fine on the sheeting, beading, however you want it. They're not destroyed yet after 11 weeks of washing. And of course there was a week where it was hardening. Everything looks good, so just re-dry that area off and then we'll move on to the other side. So on the other side, once again, get in with the foamer, put the foam on. As I say, foam looks fine, should do it a 3% rate. Goes on well, covers well, even though I'm only using a spray foamer. Nothing wrong with the coverage here. Could I use more? I could always use a little more. Actually, the cheapest way to use it is in a spray foamer. And you're going to have a lot less foam on the ground and going down the driveway. Once again, as you look at the product when it's sat there, just even for a minute or two, it starts to split, which seems to be a little bit more common for the Koch chemie foam. I'm going to start spraying it down with the Rinseless again on my sprayer. If it was a more difficult one to get the material out, then the foam would be stuck, but I can tell you on the door, the window seals, the door handles, it washes out very easily. So compared to previously, this is definitely washing out more easily. Now, had I had a 2 to 3 gallon pressure washer doing that, then you would see another difference too. Once again, I'm just going to wash over it, go over the windows. As you can see, wets out nicely, it's come across. Then turn it over to do the back door. And basically, that's the wash part really done. Just bring it out a little bit, not all the way. Bring it out a bit more. Put it back in. I'm actually getting rid of the water. You can see that in the car after dipping again. Then I'm going to come back with my drying cloth. The pre-drying cloth is to make sure I don't have too much liquid on the surface when I'm using my main drying towel. If you're someone that does lots of towels, you'll know. And then I'm going to go back to zooming in and just having a look how the water goes. Sorry, this footage looks a little bit jerky. There seems to be something wrong when using the GoPro, so I'm going to go back to my Mevo because I've had so much problems with the footage with the GoPro. Once again, upon looking at it, it actually looks fine. You can just see that little extra streak on the back where it just holds a little bit more water, so it's just a little bit sheetier product than the pan product. But once again, everything's fine. I'm just going to dry up and finish off for this week's wash. Do I have many other combinations? I actually do have a number of other combinations just to go with, but I'm trying to keep everything as neutral as possible because every time I look at someone washing something, I don't see something too neutral. Anyway, thanks for watching. Please like and subscribe, until week 12.